What is indifference? Etymologically, the word means no difference, a strange and unnatural state in which the lines blur between light and darkness, dusk, dawn, crime and punishment, cruelty and compassion, good and evil. What are its courses and inescapable consequences? Is it a philosophy? Is there a philosophy of indifference that can be conceivable? Can one possibly view it as a virtue? Is it necessary at times to practice it simply to keep one's sanity? Live normally, enjoy a fine meal and a glass of wine as the world turns around us experiencing harrowing upheavals. Of course, indifference can be tempting. More than that, seductive. It's so much easier to look away from victims. It's so much easier to avoid the rude interruptions to our work, our dreams, and our hopes. It is, after all, awkward, troublesome to be involved in another person's pain and despair. Yet for the person who is indifferent, his or her neighbor are of no consequence, and therefore their lives are meaningless. Their hidden or even visible anguish is of no interest. Indifference reduces the other to an abstraction. Over there, behind the black gates of Auschwitz, the most tragic of all prisoners were the Muselmänner, as they were called. Wrapped in their torn blankets, they would sit or lie on the ground, staring vacantly into space. Unaware of who or where they were, strangers to their surroundings, they no longer felt pain, hunger, and thirst. They feared nothing, they felt nothing. They were dead. They just didn't know it. Rooted in our tradition, some of us felt that to be abandoned by humanity was not the ultimate. We felt that to be abandoned by God was worse than to be punished by Him. Better an unjust God than an indifferent one. For us to be ignored by God was a harsher punishment than to be the victim of His anger. Man can live far from God, not outside God. God is wherever we are, even in suffering. Even in suffering.